and gentlemen, we are back here. Podcastjuice. My name is Michael Dean. Talking about Prince, and I wanted to talk about there's a new, like the new Prince book that's coming out. There's also a book by Morris Day that'll be coming out very soon. It's called On Time: A Princely Life in Funk. Actually, when is this coming out? October 8th. So it's only a few weeks away from the recording of this. And I'm excited for this book as well. Love to hear Morris's story from Morris. So I'm all ready for this book. Very interesting that I want to talk a little bit about this book. There is a review out already for this book. I'm going to find it here. It's Publishers Weekly. So you take those reviews as you with a grain of salt. A lot of times you'll notice new books, they'll have a blurb from Publisher Weekly, like an excerpt from a review. But you got to ask yourself, how did they have an excerpt of the review for this book and the book just came out today? How was it printed on the book? Well, they give the book or a version to Publisher Weekly before the book is released to put that blurb on the book. So obviously they ain't gonna put nothing bad on that. Why would they put the bad review on their book, right? So you take that, their reviews as a grain of salt. But I wanted to read the review nonetheless, and we'll talk about the book a little bit. So it says, in this entertaining memoir, musician Day tells of his career and his friendship with his musical mentor Prince, interweaving, quote, the voice I'm hearing of Prince, quote, within the narrative, at times to a distracting effect. Day writes of growing up in 1960s Illinois before he and his mother and his siblings moved to Minneapolis to escape his abusive stepfather. There, he met a 15-year-old guitarist named Prince and formed a funk band called Grand Central. Prince landed a recording deal on his own in 1978, and 3 years later, Day formed The Time. Competitive tensions mounted as Day recalls wanting Prince to hear that we weren't just funky, but so goddamn funky that he'd have to think twice about how to out-funk us. Day appeared in Prince's film Purple Rain, but then had a falling out that lasted until just before Prince's death. Since, and this is a quote, since Prince and I both believed in Jesus, you'd think a come to Jesus meeting would have been easy. Day candidly shares his descent into drug abuse and his philandering. The higher I got, the more adoration I crave, and writes honestly about Prince's desire to control him and his musical career. Fans of Prince and The Time will be thrilled with this insider view. So a pretty good review, right? Definitely want to hear more, get into the book.
I'm kind of confused by something. He said they had a falling out that lasted till just before his death. And I'm like, but they did Graffiti Bridge in 1990.
They did.
So I'm just kind of confused because it seems like Morris is painting that narrative more so than the writer. So I'm kind of confused by that statement.
Well, this is a review. This is a person who read the book's opinion of what they read. So, know how factual that is. Now, I will say there are chapters in this book called Graffiti or Corporate World, which was the album that Prince and Morris, and I believe Jerome was involved, were working on before it morphed into the Pandemonium album. So there's a whole chapter in there. There's a chapter of Graffiti Bridge in there. So maybe the falling out, from my understanding, they had that initial fallout, and who's to say how cool or whatever, brothers come back together and let's get back to work type of thing many years later. And maybe something else may have kind of happened after Graffiti Bridge. I don't know. But that coming to Jesus part, there is a chapter called the Come to Jesus Talk, which I think is when Prince and Morris get back together a few months before, he's passing or whatever.
And also, the reviewer mentioned that Morris said he had, pharmaceutical issues too.
Mm.
And unfortunately, again, I can't speak as to the timeline, but we don't know how long that was a part of his life. We won't know that until we read the book. So maybe that could have had something to do with it as well.
Right. Wasn't what was the Prince line in Old Friends for Sale that a lot of people were saying he was low key talking about Morris? Something cocaine or something. I should know this.
So should I.
I gotta look. I know. Oh, Mike don't know the lyrics verbatim. He ain't a real fan. Nigga, stop. Do have a thing called life. But let me find these lyrics before they persecute me. Don't tell me they cut that part out of certain versions of the song.
Yeah, I don't see what I'm looking at the lyrics now. I'm trying to find what you're talking about.
There's a line that says cocaine becomes something. They may have that may be on the unreleased version or something. That's very interesting now that because that's why that song was so cold. Like he was really going in.
Here we go. Unreleased version. Cocaine becomes charming.
There you go.
But you talk about things you don't know.
Wow.
And Uptown, that's heavy, man. I got to get this. This in the second verse says, the sun set in my heart this afternoon for two friends of mine got stuck in the snow.
Jimmy Jam.
And whoa.
Yeah. He's going in on that song.
Hold on. It says on the verse I said, it says, the sun set in my heart this evening because an old friend of mine got lost in the jive. Little did she know when you're stuck in the snow, nobody gets out alive. There's a lot changed.
Yeah. That's the released version. That's the clean version.
Interesting. Yeah, man. That's so, yeah. Wow.
So,
go ahead.
So Prince invented the diss track?
It was at least spitting. This is the realest shit I ever wrote. Yeah, man. That's why that song was so cold at the time. It's like, I guess he was like, yeah, let me let these brothers breathe. I don't put that energy out there like that.
Watch out. They'll kiss you until they get what you got.
Mm.
Wow.
Now, that's something they can put on that special edition of Parade.
Yeah. Yeah, they can definitely do that.
Yep. That's definitely something they can put. But, yeah, so getting back to more. So, yeah, I guess he's going to talk about that in the book. Now, actually, there are some preview pages of the book posted on Amazon, actually. And I wanted to read a little bit of the prelude to the book because it sets up another interesting thing about this book. So let me read a little bit of this. It says, Prince is the first word in this book. I place him first because he's my biggest influence, the person who most powerfully shaped my musical life. He is also first because of our brotherhood. Our bond was something else. It began strong and even got stronger. Then strong changed to strange, and strange turned to strained. Yet the bond never broke. I'm also putting Prince first because, though he's gone, he's still here. I still hear his voice in my head. I can't write this book without his voice. And rather than keep that voice to myself, I'm going to share it with you. I have no choice. Anything else would be cheating Prince. He wants to be heard. I'm no mystic. I'm not saying that I have the power of telepathy or can communicate with souls on the other side. I don't and I can't. But I swear on my sacred pearl white DW drum set that every time I sit down and start telling my story, I hear this motherfucker whispering in my ear. He won't leave me alone, won't be quiet, won't be left out of this trip. So I'm taking him along. I'm letting him in. Gonna let you hear the voice that I'm hearing. I'm hearing him say, good decision, bro. I'll tell you why. Most folks are more interested in reading about me than you. Now I'm gonna stop there because it starts to go into this back and forth conversation, supposed conversation between Prince, Ghost Prince, I guess, a force Ghost Prince, and Morris Day. And I'll leave that for when you read the book. But suffice to say that this book is being told by Morris Day with commentary from Prince, I guess a ghost Prince talking to Morris. That's a very fascinating, to me, it's fascinating way to run the narrative of this Morris Day book, which I assume this was Morris's idea.
That's crazy.
But it's just a little out there. So I wouldn't expect Morris to be, super player pimp to be on some spiritual metaphysical stuff. But hey, I'm here for it. But go ahead.
And the fact that he said they want to hear more about me than you, and he wrote that, I'm like, wow, that's humbling. And because I know Morris has to really think about his career and the songs he's put out, and to really say that and and admit that in the book, that's wow.
Yeah. Now I'm first certain, probably sure, and maybe there's even a sample on here that I don't know, that Morris ain't reading this audiobook.
Okay, help me out. Why you say that?
Well, because what's he gonna do? Well, see, I promised to tell you, Prince. Hold up. I'm still nervous, Morris, about the whole set. I wouldn't be able to handle Morris flipping his voice into it. Just would be, it would break the image I have of. I was like, is this nigga crazy? Like, what does he do? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if a dude just pulled up, if it was your man, you like, oh man, you Morris Day, you don't. Oh, okay, yeah, good to meet you, bro. And then he pulled out a puppet, a Prince, and started doing ventriloquism. Well, this is Prince right here. Oh, hi there. Whoa. My nigga, is this nigga? Okay? Are you still on the go? What's going? I'm just clowning. But I don't know. I don't know. That would be a little much. I just don't see him doing that. But it's an interesting to read it. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're reading this here, I'm like, okay, this is very interesting. He's making Ghost Prince a part of the book. You know what I'm saying? And he like, here, I'll read this one little part. Here's Morris. I'm going to give you your props. And not just because I got your spirit breathing down my neck as I write this book. Gonna give you your props because you deserve them. You done changed up the game. You sculpted a sound. You formed a musical universe. I'm lucky to have slipped into that universe. I believe I've been in your ear ever since you chased me down to get in my band. Hell, man, you asked me in. You hustled your way in. I had the chops to kick your drummer's ass. That's how I got in. Point is, bro, I let you in. Ain't no disputing that. Who's disputing? These days before my show starts, I put your pretty face up on the big screen. Then I tell the crowd how we miss you, how we love you, how you're the founding father. But what else you gonna say about me in this book? That we're brothers. Always have been, always will be. I'm the one cat who wasn't scared to tell you what I thought. And in this book, that won't change. Gonna be true to you, but also true to me. And if I'm not mistaken, I do believe that's why you kept me around. I said what was on my mind, whether you liked it or not. Remember when you played When Doves Cry? Yes, indeed. You said, don't play me nothing unless it's funky. And if you do, put out that Dove song, put some bass on it. Right. Wasn't trying to kiss your ass. Others may have done that, but not me. You didn't kiss my ass. But when it came to Dove, you had your head up your ass. Was my first #1 pop single. So that's a little bit of.
Oh my. Okay, this needs to be a movie. I need to see this.
Let Morris fuck around and do like a one-man Broadway show.
I'd be there.
Yeah, I'd have to go check that out myself.
This is bold as hell. I mean, because people read this are probably gonna think this dude is crazy. And the thing of it is like he's having these detailed conversations. Right. What makes me think about it is like he's probably had these conversations. I want to say not since Prince died, but before Prince died with himself.
Wow. Yeah, that's the first. And so, scrolling through some of the book pages that are on here, the majority of it is Morris talking, but you do see the Prince script throughout some of this. So it's going to be a very interesting read for sure.
Damn, I would love.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, damn, I would love at the next celebration he just read that excerpt or some of the excerpts of him as Prince. That would sell out Target Center.
Yeah, there's some good stuff in here. I mean, the sample pages, it talks about the Rolling Stone, concert where he got booed off the stage. From Morris's perspective, he was there. Looks like the meeting with Alexander O'Neal.
Oh wow!
The making of the first Time album. There's something in here that I think I can find at the moment. But Morris was saying that he played drums on, was it the song Controversy? Another song?
Yeah, he mentioned Controversy. I want to say it was Let's Work. I read that.
Yeah, and then he talks about when they went to go and record the first Time album. So a lot of good stuff in here. I can't wait to read it. It's going to be great. I know I could already see one of the other parties. I could have did my book that way, but I'm clowning.
Is there any interview where Morris actually talked about A, when Jimmy and Terry left the band, and B, when it broke up? I don't recall seeing that.
You talking about in interviews?
Yeah.
Well, I know there was that documentary that was in the
original Seven.
Original Seven. I think they go into that for sure.
That was really the only time he did it, though, right?
I want to say he spoke about this before. At least I know Jesse and them have.
Oh, Jesse definitely did. But I don't recall hearing it from Morris's perspective, and I'm definitely interested in that.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good book. And this is like I'm saying. Like, I hope it opens the door for some of the other cats, like Andre, Jesse, for them cats to put their stories out there, man. Put their book out. Because that's the kind of people I want. For me personally, that's what I want to hear from the cats who actually had the instruments in their hand and was on stage and getting it pop. Was in the studio. So I'm all ready for this, man. It's a long time coming. So like I said, I'm clowning a little bit, but salute to Morris, man. This is day one. And it's crazy that we're getting a book by both Prince and Morris in the same month. But I love it.
I would have loved to have been at that meeting when they sat down with the Time, including Alexander, and Alexander shot his mouth off.
Alexander was on his I Know My Worth. Unique.
Okay, go somewhere else.
And he did, but yeah. I mean,
no.
I can't even see the time with. I can't even picture it with Alex.
No.
Anyways,
no.
I know people. I know a lot of people say that Prince gave the Morris persona, but I really believe Morris put into that as well. And Alexander O'Neal definitely wouldn't have got that. Plus, I think that the Time was better with Morris. Like they were a family until they weren't a family.
I can't imagine Morris being on the drums and Alex being up front. I just can't see that. No.
Yeah, it would be a whole different thing.
A whole different vibe.
A whole different thing.
And the closest, since Jimmy and Terry are the common denominators here, the closest they got to that with Alex is the Hearsay album, and it's just not the same thing.
Yeah, no.
Not to say Alex wasn't good. Alex had his moments, believe me.
Oh, Alex, yeah.
When he's being produced by Jimmy and Terry, he's great. When he's not produced by Jimmy and Terry,
I remember, and Purple Family, I should have listened to it when we had Jill on the Purple Rain Minute, and she was talking about how they were touring, and some of the ladies would go chill with Morris because he was a little bit better to be around. She didn't intimate that they were sleeping with him, but he was chilling with him. I hope Morris discusses that as well.
There is even in the sample pages, they talk about some parties that the Thai would have, and versus Prince's revolution parties, and eventually Prince started coming to their parties, but people wasn't like, jocking Prince like he may have thought they were supposed to. It's like, oh, what's up, homie? They wasn't like, oh, it's Prince. They're like, they're gonna have a seat and get a drink, man. Sit down. Sit down, man. But no, it's gonna be good, man. It's gonna be some good stuff. Here, I'll read one last little part. We'll move on. It says, the Controversy album, Prince's fourth in 3 years, included some political songs and a few anti-Reagan riffs. But the big hit was Do Me Baby, a straight-out sex plea. Word is that the song was really written by Andre Simone, not Prince. I don't know for sure. All I do know is that Andre, one of the world's great guys, had a falling out with Prince. That took me by surprise. It was Prince and Andre who had started together in Grand Central. Like me, Andre was one of Prince's closest collaborators. Plus, Andre was an easygoing cat. I didn't get in the middle of it. Bottom line was that by the start of the Controversy tour, Andre was no longer playing bass in Prince's band. Andre would go on to make great albums on his own, plus huge hits with former Shalimar singer Jody Watley, who was then his wife. Staying cool with Prince, no matter how far you went back with him, wasn't easy. And then the Ghost Prince says, any easier than staying cool with cats making claims on songs I'd written? I'd written so many songs that it's easy for someone to come around and say, oh yeah, that's my melody, or oh yeah, that's my hook.
Oh my God, this
That's what's gonna be crazy.
Okay, I'm gonna say something totally crazy.
I hope the org has their their servers on point, because they gonna go wild on this shit. But go ahead.
It's like, I'm gonna say something totally crazy. Fuck that Ava DuVernay documentary. I want this as a series. Just interpreting this. Morris Day trying to make this book, and Ghost Prince talking in his ear. Oh my God. First day dollars.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Very interesting, man. To finish that last little paragraph, Morris comes back and says, I don't know how it went down between you and Andre. Don't know how many of Andre's bass lines wound up as essential compositions or essential components to your composition.
Now, to be fair, this wouldn't be the first person that said that they got uncredited. They didn't get credited for their writing when Prince's music. Just like I'll go to the new school, just like with Dr. Dre. A lot of his stuff, he's credited as the sole producer, even though other people worked up on it. So, Purple Family, The Org, Housequake, y'all got to get out your feelings on this.
Oh, yeah. Well, hey, we will see. We will see. But shout out to all them cats, man. They all legends. Did the damn thing. All right. Any other last words on the Morris Day book, man? It's coming out.
I hope this has a renaissance for Morris. I don't know about musically, but definitely, I'm just saying, like you said, a one-man Broadway show, something, because this sounds hilarious, crazy, but just damn entertaining.
I don't think you could do a one-man tour because just the nature of it sounds very emotionally draining. But I'm not saying he couldn't do it on like a standalone platform, like on a Netflix or Amazon or something like that, because it'll definitely, put butts in the seats, I'll tell you that.
You know what I could see easily? I could see a BT movie.
Oh no!
Off of this. Oh yeah, man, like be like the
new edition
thing, multi Bobby Brown. I can see the Morris Day thing. It would sort of lessen the blow of them having to cast a Prince. So you only showed him from the back, or you know what I mean. So they didn't have to get to deal with that. But you could cast a Morris Day, and he's got quite the story, and everybody he's a household name in the culture.
Well, Tyler Perry, please get on it. No, I mean, because he's working with BET. No, because he's working with BET. So I'm like, get on it, bro.
Oh, okay.
Just to have no Medea cameo, and we're all right. Wow. Hello.
That'd be a nice deleted scene, though.
What's the password? Anyway.
Medea, give me a mirror.
But I can see that movie. I can see the Morris Day. What time is it? Or cool. Let's be all over BET. But anyway. All right. So there you go. Leave a comment down below. Let us know what you think. We're about to get up out of here. Big Sexy, where can they find you online?
Facebook, Mark Wiggins, and thanks everyone for the good wishes I received about my cat getting better. Thank you all very much. Instagram, Mark Wiggins 2, and Twitter, WSE Mark.
All right, and Pooh.
Find me on not Facebook. I don't want y'all following me. I only need 400 friends, and that's it. Some of y'all crazy. Stop sending me them goddamn unsolicited friend requests, by the way. Anyway, Instagram. Instagram and Twitter at Ampoo. And that's what you got from me from now.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, please check out podcastjuice.net. And I believe there is a link on there that says gear. And I'll put this in the show notes. People were asking about, the logo and if we have T-shirts and stuff. Yes, we do have T-shirts, hoodies, and all that good stuff that you can get. So I'll put all the links below. Please check out our Patreon page, become a member. And as I always say, work it like a job. We'll see you next time.
And maybe one day, with you and me thinking together, and then you see, don't wanna rush you. Just take your time and get to know you. What's on your mind? We can go to the park. We can stay till after dark. Watch the moon and count the stars. Take a play around this water bar. And maybe one day, with you and me can be together, and then you see, don't wanna rush you. Just take your time and get to know you. What's on your mind? 'Cause we can walk hand in hand. 'Cause you're a woman, I'm a man, and we were made to walk as one. Take a minute and have some fun. And maybe one day, with you and me can be together, and then you see, don't wanna rush you. Just take your time and get to know you. What's on your mind? But a big chocolate girl, I just want you in my world. And blow your kisses from afar. Send your love no matter where you are. And maybe one day, you and me can be together, and then you see, don't wanna rush you. Just take your time and get to know you. What's on your mind? No matter where you are. And maybe one day, you and me can be together, and then you see, don't wanna rush you. Just take your time and get to know you. What's on your mind? So many things I wanna say, 'cause we don't have the time to play. I put it down straight for you. So tell me what you wanna do. And maybe one day, with Just take your time.